My name is Dr. SOPHIA US, and I want to share a few important things with you, especially those of you over 60. If you've started waking up at night to urinate more than once, if you feel like you never completely empty your bladder, or if you have to stand there for what feels like forever, waiting for the stream to begin, I want you to listen closely because these symptoms are not just a part of getting older. Asterisk, they are signs that something deeper is happening in your body. Something far more common than most men realize. As a prostate doctor, I've seen it many times. And I'm here to tell you this: your prostate is trying to get your attention. And in many cases, it's not your age that's the problem. It's your daily habits. The quiet, small things you do, perhaps without even thinking, that make your prostate grow bigger, heavier, and more difficult to manage. Asterisk, but here is the good news. Once you know what these habits are, you can change them. And when you do, you give your body a chance to restore balance, reduce pressure, and regain comfort. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 3 everyday habits that silently contribute to prostate enlargement and what you can start doing instead. These habits are incredibly common, even among otherwise healthy men. But when repeated over time, they put a strain on your urinary system, stir up inflammation, and slowly push your prostate out of balance. You'll learn what these habits are, why they matter, and what small changes you can start making today. Asterisk, if you're tired of discomfort, urgency, or feeling like your bladder is running the show, this video is for you. And let me be clear, you are not forced to live with these symptoms. Your body is capable of healing, especially when you remove the things that are constantly irritating it. Asterisk, the first habit that silently expands your prostate over time is something simple. Something almost all of us are guilty of, especially when we're out, busy, or don't want to use a public restroom. It is holding your urine for too long. Asterisk, now. You might think waiting just a little longer while you finish an errand or get home is no big deal. But when this becomes a daily habit, holding it for long periods before allowing yourself to empty, you are creating pressure, not just inside your bladder, but throughout the entire prostate region. Asterisk, you see, your prostate sits directly beneath your bladder right at the base, and it wraps around your urethra like a soft, flexible ring. This is the tube that carries urine from the bladder out through the penis. Now imagine that tube being surrounded by a ring. When that ring is swollen or strained, it doesn't take much to slow things down. When your bladder becomes overly full, whether it's from holding it on a long drive, putting it off while watching a movie, or ignoring the urge while running errands, it begins to expand up and down, and that downward pressure is exerted directly onto the prostate. It's like leaning on a sponge that's already sensitive. The more the bladder stretches, the more it pushes on the prostate tissue, which is already being asked to do a big job. Asterisk, over time, this repeated pressure creates small but significant changes where the once flexible prostate becomes irritated. The tissues get thicker, swelling appears, and in many men, this constant strain becomes one of the silent drivers of prostate enlargement. Men who consistently delay urination, especially those who think they are trying to be tough or just waiting until it's convenient, often develop what we call bladder outlet obstruction. Asterisk, this is when the bladder is ready to empty, but the passage is too narrow. The bladder muscle has to work harder to push through a narrow channel because the prostate has become large and stiff. It's not just uncomfortable, it can cause long-term weakening of the bladder over time. This habit can seem so innocent. After all, a little delay here and there, but to your body, it's like trying to force a balloon to hold more air than it was designed to carry over and over, day after day. Eventually, it affects the structure, the tone, and the function. And unlike a balloon, the bladder and prostate don't pop. They adapt, and not always in a good way. Asterisk, if you are in the habit of waiting until the urge becomes almost unbearable, I gently encourage you to shift that pattern. Start listening to your bladder again. Go when you feel the need, not when the need becomes urgent. Responding sooner reduces pressure and helps your entire urinary system maintain a better rhythm. This can seem like a small change, but over time, it can lift a huge weight off your prostate and give it the space it needs to calm down, heal, and shrink back towards a normal size. Now, let's move on to the second habit. And this one surprises a lot of men because it seems completely unrelated at first glance. It is the habit of ignoring constipation. When your bowels are full of compacted stool, especially from a diet that lacks fiber, that pressure pushes directly on the back of the prostate. This pressure isn't temporary. It's constant, like having a brick sitting on a sponge all day, every day. It stresses the tissue. It restricts circulation. It irritates nerves and creates a low-level inflammation that doesn't just stay in the colon. It spreads to the surrounding structures, including the prostate. And here's the kicker. Chronic inflammation is one of the key contributors to benign prostatic hyperplasia, or what most men refer to as an enlarged prostate. But it doesn't stop there. Constipation also messes with your internal chemistry. When stool stays in the body for too long, it throws off your gut bacteria, the delicate ecosystem inside your digestive tract. When that balance is lost, it creates systemic inflammation that affects everything from your immune system to your prostate. The modern diet, especially for older adults, tends to be high in refined carbohydrates, low in fiber, and often filled with processed foods, cheese, red meat, and not nearly enough water. These choices slow down digestion, dry out the stool, and cause the bowels to back up, sometimes without you even noticing it right away. What starts as an occasional sluggishness turns into a vicious cycle. Constipation causes pressure. That pressure flares up the prostate. The inflammation worsens the swelling. And the swelling makes the urinary symptoms worse. So, if you are not going regularly, or if your stool is hard, dry, or requires you to strain, your prostate may be bearing the brunt of that imbalance. Luckily, the solution is within reach. You can start by gently increasing your fiber through comforting natural sources. Think about adding more cooked vegetables, fruits like prunes or pears, whole grains like oatmeal, and simple digestive aids like chia seeds or ground flaxseed. These foods not only soften your stool and improve transit, they also reduce the internal pressure on your prostate from the inside out. And when your bowels are moving freely and completely, your prostate finally gets to relax. It's like clearing out a crowded hallway. Everything flows better when the path is open. Now, let's talk about the third habit. A habit that's incredibly common, especially in the retirement years when routines slow down and comfort becomes more important than activity. And that habit is sitting for long periods without moving. Whether it's relaxing in front of the TV, sitting at a desk with a cup of tea, scrolling on your phone, or reading a good book in your favorite armchair, time can fly by, and before you know it, your body has been inactive for far too long. What feels relaxing on the outside can actually become stagnant on the inside. You see, the pelvic region where your bladder, colon, and prostate all live is designed for subtle, constant motion. It thrives on circulation. It needs blood flow and gentle movement to keep nutrients coming in and waste products being carried away. But when you sit for long stretches without moving, the lower part of your body becomes stagnant. Circulation slows down. Oxygen and nutrients stop flowing freely. The lymphatic drainage system weakens, which means your body becomes less efficient at removing toxins and inflammatory waste products. And those byproducts, they start to collect right where your prostate is. The prostate is a soft, delicate gland. It is not built to handle constant stagnation. Like any living tissue, it needs good blood flow to stay healthy. When that flow is restricted for many hours each day, the prostate can become inflamed, swollen, and irritated. And over time, This contributes to the kind of slow, silent growth that leads to prostate enlargement. Men who sit for long periods daily without incorporating movement are more likely to develop pelvic tension, chronic low-grade inflammation, and eventually enlargement of the prostate. And that often comes with no obvious symptoms until the discomfort, urgency, or interrupted sleep show up months or years later. Asterisk, this is why I recommend what I call movement snacks throughout the day. These are small, simple, gentle activities that are just enough to wake up your circulation and remind your pelvis that it is still alive and needed. You don't have to go for a jog. You don't need to break a sweat. Even something as humble as standing up every 30 to 40 minutes. Walking across the room, taking a few deep breaths while gently swinging your arms and legs, or stretching your lower back can bring vitality back to that part of your body. Asterisk, think of your prostate as a sponge. If it's never squeezed, never moved. It starts to get stiff and collect waste. But when you move even just a little, you help that sponge stay soft, fresh, and well-nourished. Movement isn't just about staying fit. It's about keeping the core of your body vibrant, alive, and responsive. Especially the hidden parts that you don't see, but that quietly shape your comfort, your energy, and your quality of life. Even a few minutes of mindful movement every hour can help keep your prostate healthier for years to come. Asterisk, so now you know. The 3 quiet daily habits that gradually contribute to prostate enlargement: holding your urine for too long, ignoring your fiber intake, and sitting for hours without moving. These are not dramatic problems, but that is what makes them so dangerous. They sneak in with no fanfare, and over years they create a world of discomfort, urgency, and frustration. But here is the power in all of this. Every one of these habits can be changed gently, gradually, and mindfully. You don't have to overhaul your life or start from scratch. You just have to bring awareness to how your daily choices affect your prostate. Asterisk, I have seen men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s improve their symptoms, reduce their nighttime trips to the bathroom, regain a healthy flow, and feel more comfortable in their own bodies just by shifting these core behaviors. So if you've been feeling frustrated, uncomfortable, or even a little bit scared about what's happening down there, take a deep breath. You are not alone, and you are not powerless. Your prostate doesn't have to rule your life. You can take care of it just like it's been trying to take care of you. Asterisk, if you found this video helpful, please subscribe and share it with a friend. Sometimes the most powerful changes come from the smallest pieces of knowledge. Thank you for watching, and remember, your health is not behind you. It's in your hands, and the best is yet to come.